Scheduling a new trip. CloudTrans guides you through a simple process to schedule a new trip. Once you are familiar with the steps, scheduling a new trip will often take you less than 1 minute to do, with repeat trips being especially fast. We're going to step through the process quickly to give you an overview, and then we'll back up and look at the details more closely for each step. For a quick overview, first, you select the person you want to go on the trip. Next, we'll select the pickup and drop-off locations and times. We'll set the dates when the trip will take place. Enter any last details. Then review and submit the trip. That's it, all done. Typically, this is how most of your trips will flow. Now let's back up and review each step in more detail. Step 1 is to pick the people you want on the trip. If you have already entered them into CloudTrans, just type a few letters of the person's name, then click to place that person in the vehicle. Or, if you need to enter a new passenger into CloudTrans, click Create New Person. You can select multiple people for a trip, but only one person will be the primary. And that is the billable person for the trip. Step 2 is to pick the locations and times for the trip. Where are the passengers traveling from and to, and at what time? Trips are most often entered as a round trip. For example, where a person is picked up at home and taken to the doctor for an appointment, and then, at a later time, picked up from the doctor and returned home. This is a round trip with 2 legs. Sometimes you just need a one-way trip. For example, from the hospital back to home. A trip may be an appointment, which means it is important that the passenger be dropped off at a certain time. For example, to a doctor's appointment. So the important time for an appointment trip is when they will be dropped off. Or more rarely, a trip might be a return pickup. For example, when someone is picked up at a clinic to return home. For a return trip, the important time is when they are picked up. If I have selected round trip, I will have 3 locations to specify: where the passenger will be picked up, where they will be dropped off, and where they will be returned to. Once I enter an address for a passenger, it will always be remembered to use again later. Or I can just add a new location. I can also use a list of shared locations, which should be where I keep destinations that anyone might use, like hospitals or clinics. For this passenger, I will select their home for the pickup location, a clinic for the drop-off location, and their home once again for the return location. I'll set 12 o'clock as the drop-off time at the clinic, since that's the important time for this round trip. The map will outline the trip path. Step 3 is to pick the dates you want the trip to occur. This might just be once on a given date, or instead, you might want the trip to repeat throughout a date range. Perhaps on just specific days like Tuesdays and Thursdays, or even just a list of specific dates. Let's just select a single date for this trip. The next step is just to specify any remaining specifics, such as notes for the driver. For the last step, CloudTrans will show you the full outline of the trip for you to review, and if it looks correct, just press Submit to schedule the new trip, or feel free to go back and make corrections if needed. That's it for our high-level overview of creating a trip. Please see other videos for more details about topics like options available when creating new passengers or locations.